Hello, hello. What's your biggest fear? Is it success? Or is it even the fear of failure? Maybe it's spiders. But some people talk about fear and they say the real thing to fear is fear itself. So today, on day 16, we're going to jump into fear. We're going to try and understand it in new ways that we haven't understood it before. We have 6 different ways to understand it, and then we have 8 different actionable insights and tips to help you deal with fear. So let's jump into it. Number 1, the imposter syndrome. So, do you ever feel like a fraud, or that you're going to get caught out and people are going to see you for who you really are? Well, don't worry. It's completely normal, and that fear is going to severely hold you back from trying new things and understanding your real potential. So don't let it affect you. Number 2, fear of failure. So fear of failure usually comes from our childhood experiences, and they're shaped from that time. So maybe you had someone when giving you loads of praise for positive things, or maybe it was a teacher that was super harsh on you and you got that fear of failure. But don't let the childhood experiences shape the rest of your life. You can change them and you can overcome that fear of failure. Number 3, the fear of change and new responsibilities. Success clearly means stepping into the unknown and new things that you're not used to. You know, that's scary, that's terrifying. It's you're gonna make mistakes. But making mistakes and learning is what it's all about. So don't let that fear change you. Don't let that stop you from trying new things and getting better. Number 4, identity and success. Here's a thought. Sometimes we really fear success because it's going to mean changing our identity. And that's kind of scary as well. But don't be scared by it. Think about it like the phoenix. You're gonna rise from the ashes, and you're gonna take the best things about your old self and you're gonna incorporate them into the new self. Number 5, self-sabotage as defense. Do you ever create unnecessary obstacles or put blocks in your way or stop yourself from doing things and procrastinate? That's typically the fear of success. And usually it's kind of a defense mechanism. You know, you're scared of doing something because what used to happen was if you put yourself out there, that was a real threat and you could die from that. You know, we're talking hundreds of years ago. But today, we don't carry that same threat, so you don't need to fear it as much. Just get out there and do it. Finally, number 6, the comfort zone myth. So we have this idea that, or feeling that being in your comfort zone is safe. But actually doing nothing and not changing anything at all, that's probably the biggest risk you can take. And taking small calculated risks and trying things, getting better at stuff, that's the best investment you can do. And the risk is doing nothing at all. Righty, so now we're going to jump into how to deal with these. And with all of these things that I'm going to speak about, we've got to remember that there's rational fears and irrational fears. And so obviously rational fears are things like falling off a cliff or getting hit by traffic or whatever it might be. And irrational fears are, oh, they might see me like this, and so then that's going to change everything. So our job is to distinguish between rational fears and irrational fears. Number 1 is use fear as a motivator. You know, everything has the light and the dark, the yin, the yang, the good and the bad. And we should really think about how we can use fear to motivate us to do something. You know, be scared of doing nothing. Be scared of waking up and your whole life is gone. You know, think Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. He's scared. He gets so angry. He's scared of not winning that he pulls out this incredible kind of ability out of him. So really think about that we can do the same, which is use fear as a motivator. Number 2, which is visualize the worst case scenario. Now this might seem counterintuitive because you're thinking about the fear, but what really happens is you challenge your idea and you realize that the worst case scenario isn't that bad, you know? So it really gives you an opportunity to reflect on what you think and change your path, you know, figure out, actually, that's just in my head. Let's go for it. Number 3 is the spotlight effect. So we often overestimate how much people are thinking about us. That's really just in our head. So we walk around thinking, oh, what about people see this, and what about people see this? Well, probably they're going to be doing the same things and worrying about the same stuff. So the quicker that we can just get out of our head and realize that it's not all about us, let's try and just do the best we can while we're here and in the group. That's the key with the spotlight effect. Before reframing failure as information and feedback from the world. Don't be scared about it. If you feel scared about it, then that's just because you're doing something new. And if we think about that as, hey, this is my body or the world telling me that this is something new and this is where I can learn, there's nothing to be scared of. And that idea really helps get over perfectionism and that fear of just starting. So just reframe it. It's information. Number 5, adopt a growth mindset. So see effort as necessary to get good at something. And just because you suck at something right now doesn't show that you're just an incompetent person. It just means you haven't done this thing very much. So really learn to adapt to that growth mindset and say, hey, I'm just going to try it because I need to try and I need to fail, because if I don't, I'm not going to get very good at things. Number 6, which is practice mindfulness. And I think often our fears and insecurities, they come from worrying about the future or the past. So if we can acknowledge that and be in this moment and have that awareness that don't worry about that, it's okay, then we have the ability to connect now and just be a lot calmer in general and not have those fears control and dominate our lives. Number 7, exposure therapy. So step by step, gradually expose yourself to the things that you're scared of or that you have a bit of fear for. And over time, you're going to realize it's not so daunting. And you're also going to develop confidence in yourself to realize, oh, if I can do this, what are the other things that I can do that I've been neglecting? Finally, number 8, which is define yourself by your own success, not by someone else's. So more and more we see everyone else's life through Instagram and everything like that, and we end up kind of like voyeuristically living through their life, and we forget to live our own life. We forget to judge ourselves by our own standards, because everyone starts off in different places. So we really have to judge ourselves. Was I better than I was yesterday? Or was I better than I was a few years ago? Start small and then get bigger. That's the easiest way to start feeling different about yourself. Redefine what success is to you. There we have it, guys. So we've successfully peeled back the layers of fear, understood it a little bit more to not let it have such a powerful hold over us and, rule our lives. Now we understand that it's just part of the feedback process from the world. And if we have that strong feeling of fear, as long as it's not a completely rational fear, if we have that strong feeling of fear, we're growing. We're having to think, we're having to learn, we're having to do stuff in new ways. So no need to be so scared of it. And I challenge you guys to get out there and do something, small steps that make you feel a bit uncomfortable this week. Let me know what that is, whatever it is, the small things you're fearful of. And let's get over them together and live a more passionate and fun life, hey? So if you've enjoyed anything today, if you've learned something, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, whatever it is that fits you the best. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Much love.